Welcome to the Bear Pit Pod with Elliot and Craig. We asked people for Acast, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube.
That's it.
I've got it now.
All available.
Last week we did ask people for reviews.
Mm-hmm.
We were left some, so I'm going to read them.
Okay.
Adams HHH. One of the first official Stoke City podcasts with optimism and pessimism. More pessimism for this season, but hopefully we'll be more optimistic next season.
So he reckons he's basically saying we're a nice blend of optimism and pessimism.
Yeah.
A wide range of emotions.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying.
Exactly that.
Good.
Freddie Dingo.
5 stars from him?
They're all 5
All 5 stars, okay.
Freddie Dingo. I'm not sure about these usernames. Freddie Dingo says, I must for all Potters fans, some very insightful interviews, especially enjoyed the episode with the Oatcakes Martin Smith.
That was a good one. I was on that one though.
You weren't there. Maybe that's why it's good, Craig.
Yeah. Get in instead.
I think it's supposed to be Sutmate, but it's Sutmatter. Says brilliant. Always look forward to tuning into the pod to hear about the latest news and topics related to the club. Keep up the good work, lads. Nice. And Fred DDDY 19191919191919.
He's got a bit lazy with that username.
It says quality, 10 out of 10 podcast, great guests going far. I don't know if that's supposed to be great guests so far or great guests we're going far. Both. Let's just say
lovely. Thanks.
They're very nice.
Yeah.
If you are listening, you haven't left us one yet, come and leave us one.
And you'll definitely get a name check.
Yeah, and you also get into the competition for the end of the season for the shirt,
which is signed by Berahino and Rory. So far. Yeah. Any word on any?
We'll sign
guests.
I think
that devalued.
I actually WhatsApped one last night.
Yeah.
One of these guests, and he came back with.
We'll call it a Stoke.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
All right. Hope you're well. Would you be good to come on the podcast soon? Had Rory on a few weeks ago. It was class.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty full on over the next few weeks, to be honest, mate. I think it may be best if we wait until the new season. I promise that I'll do one though. I said, okay, no worries with me.
That's legally binding.
Legally binding.
The WhatsApp.
Not going to reveal the name.
Okay.
So we will kick off with last weekend's game, Swansea. Where did it all go wrong?
I can't help but think this is, as usual, I browse the oatcake for my sins.
Why'd you go on, Craig?
Because sometimes you want that fix, don't you? I tend to obsess over Stoke defeats, and I can't help that. I'd want to just drown in fellow kind of sombre opinions and thoughts and stuff.
That's the place. When you drown, just drown, your body chopped up into bits, eaten by sharks.
And spot on. There's no better place for the OK message board. At the best of times, the miserable one there. But I wanted to join this kind of drowning of sorrows there, and I can't help but think this feels like the lowest point in the season, the Swansea defeat.
Oh yeah,
it was worse than usual. Not just OK message boards, but
on a family
and friends.
On a par with the Palace 4-0.
Yeah, because at least that was at the start of the season, and there was somewhere to go. But the season's done now, isn't it? Really,
yeah. We've had the added misery of a few more games.
Yeah, there was, in that sense, literally the only way was up after the Palace defeat, because I think we were rock bottom at the time. We had a season to kind of turn that around, but the Swansea one was just.
Wasn't nice.
It was just rubbish, wasn't it? It was a poor performance, and to really compound that fact, I look like a bit of a dickhead because I was absolutely convinced we'd win that.
You said we'd win.
I was so confident.
I was cautious.
And you were cautious, and I got a bit of stick on Twitter for it, and fair enough. Because I wasn't just confident, I didn't just casually throw it, I think we'll win. I went for it.
I am very confident.
And the rest, I think they said we will definitely win. I was convinced of it. I just thought they were. I mean, their form was shocking.
Yeah.
We got a really decent morale boosting win against Hull. Shaq looked good. Arnie scored. I thought we were going to absolutely tear them apart. I really thought that, and I couldn't have been further from the truth. So apologies if anyone took that prediction very literally. Yeah. If you placed a bet off the back of optimism, sorry.
And I hope you're betting on Ladbrokes as well. Don't listen to Craig for all future predictions.
I think that's sensible advice.
For that matter. The changing moment in the game, well, apart from them getting the first goal, which was by, again, we need to foot this off as soon as possible. Zonal mark.
Oh God!
We started it at the start of the season because Ryan was pulling people's shirts, and it's just costing us goals.
It's just rubbish. And if people get a run on you,
you're stood static. Joe Allen left Llorente because it wasn't like Joe Allen was staying in.
Yeah. Then Indy got pulled across.
Indy got pulled. So there was no one there. There's no one left to mark him. Llorente, you can't be giving Llorente probably one of the best headers of the ball in the Premier League at the moment. a fucking free run.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Daft. And
You're so spot on with that.
it's just mental, absolutely mental. I don't understand why we've persisted with it so long and it showed us up so many times.
It's crap. And another reason I want to get rid of it, if I have to hear my dad moan about zonal marking one more time,
I'd probably
I
sound
might
like
go
that.
again. Every week, every corner actually, where we come to defend, we usually bodge the defending.
I'm
and my
worried.
dad is just like, will they get rid of this zonal marking?
Last season,
He's true, he's right.
Last season, it was we couldn't score from a corner,
Yeah.
and it took until the final game of the season where Juve put one in again from Charlie Adam.
Yeah.
This year, I'm scared we're going to concede from every corner.
It's shocking, isn't it?
It's worrying.
It's shocking. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Sack off zonal marking.
Get rid.
Rubbish.
The start of the game, the big sort of talking point was Jack was put straight back in.
Surprised at that.
I'm surprised at that.
Really surprised.
I said my personal thoughts were leaving this season or just giving him a run out of the last game or last home game, maybe. Just banging him in with 4 or 5 games to go.
Yeah, this is really sitting on the fence. I mean, I personally.
Matt, how are you feeling if you're League Grant?
You're going to be gutted, aren't you? I think he's, based on the context of where he come from, i.e. Championship club, we were really struggling with keepers. We were really down there when we got him. I think he's our player of the season. I honestly think if we'd not have been as lucky, let's face it, we weren't lucky with Grant.
Yeah.
Because what Championship keepers can step up? I think if we'd not been
third choice Championship?
Yeah, none. In reality, we should have got a keeper that's way below Premiership standards. I think we could have been going down if we hadn't got Grant.
If we had Hogard given for the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, you've seen given at Wigan, Hogard at Wigan now, an absolute disaster.
Yeah, he has. And given he'd been a good keeper, he's passed. I truly think we'd have been deep in the relegation battle if we'd not dropped Lucky the League Grant. And for that reason alone, he should be player of the season. So yeah, by definition, the fact Jack's come straight back in, I feel good for it.
He looked at Jack when he was back. He did look a little shaky at times. He dropped it on a couple of occasions.
Yeah,
and we did a live watch along on the Saturday.
I saw that. He looked a bit hungover, all of you.
Wedding the night before was not a great idea. Every time we've lost as well. But the lads that I was with, some of them said Jack could have done better on the first goal. I'm not so sure about that.
No, it was too quick.
Yeah,
I think it was a good header with a lot of power on it. Yeah,
I'm not placing any blame on him for that, but the rest of the game he did look a little shaky. There's an occasion where I think he put it out of play. There was a couple of drops. However, in the second half, he did make an amazing save.
That worldy sort of, not worldy, but it's a very, very good save.
That was just a glimmer of what Jack Butland does offer.
Yeah,
because we've seen that many a time when he's at full fitness, full readiness. What he can do.
I think Grant coming back. Well, Jack coming back. As much as I think Grant should have stayed in, you can understand it almost as well. Jack Butland is, in my biased opinion, the best English keeper in the league. So he's got to come back.
He's one of the most promising young keepers in the world.
In the world, it doesn't mean English or not English. He's great. So I get why he's come back in, but I still think he's a tad hard.
I get that Mark Hughes and the club have probably got promises for him. You know, you are our first choice keeper, no doubt about it. And Jack's, I know Jack's an eager guy. He would have been eager to play. So he'd probably gone up and say, right, I'm 100% ready. You promised me this. Put me in the sticks. Yeah, but for his own good, I just don't think he should be there yet.
Not yet.
What's he going to gain from the rest of the season?
Well, nothing in reality, is it? I think one thing that did cross my mind the other day, as weird as it sounds, I think if it wasn't for this injury, I don't know if we'd be having Jack Butland for next season. I think there's a really good chance he would have gone this summer.
Could be
if he'd had a full season.
Guys.
In a weird way, I mean,
you've got a lot of top clubs going to be looking for a keeper. Yeah. Man United, De Gea looks set to be
Real Madrid,
Man City, Real Madrid.
Czech's a bit inconsistent.
Czech at Arsenal,
he
keeps fucking up.
I think it could have stretched Butland to one more season at Stoke now, assuming he has the same level of performance next year.
Everton have been sniffing.
Yeah,
apparently. They've got a lot of spending power behind.
But he owes us a season now.
Yeah,
really, doesn't he? I think if someone's out for a long time injured and the club sticks with them, pays the wages.
Yeah, and I also think the natural progression when he is fit, etc., is getting Joe Hard's #1 spot.
Yeah,
and I think once he's got that and got a couple of caps under his belt, that's when they'll all come sniffing. Once they've realised he can do it on the big stage, so to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
The turning point in the game was the only pen.
The worst penalty.
I don't think it's that bad. He just is. It didn't go miles over.
A penalty always looks 20 times worse. If he goes over the bar.
Yeah. Essentially.
I mean, you can argue that some shots on target are worse than that one, if that makes sense.
So he's just hit that as hard as he can, and because it wasn't too far off the bar, but the trajectory it was going at, it looks like it's gone out of the stadium almost.
It's a shame that Arnie, I thought his confidence may have been uplifted after the whole game. He's got a good goal, but he just doesn't look himself. He doesn't have that swagger at the moment, and that
he does.
Well, no, I suppose not. He's obviously running through the team, but the penalty miss just seemed to encompass, I don't know, a lack of confidence in him at the moment. He's missed some great chances recently, hasn't he? He missed a good couple of opportunities against Burnley. He missed a good opportunity against Liverpool, and then there's another few one-on-ones he's missed here and there I can recall. Then he obviously misses that penalty. It's just the swag that's missing from Arnie at the moment, and
hopefully gets it back.
Yeah.
Someone who did miss a couple of clear-cut chances was Sado.
Yeah, I've seen them since. The bad misses, aren't
they?
They
are really bad misses. I don't think he's ever been the strongest with his head, but
no,
still.
I would score that, and I'm rubbish.
Yeah.
That second header,
the second one was
clear as you like. What was it, 4 yards? He just needs to direct it to a corner to goal. It's a massively missed opportunity.
And again, I think it was another game where he didn't look that at the races.
No.
How long did we persist with him?
I've said I'm not going to remotely judge him too harshly until next season starts.
I mean persist with him whilst he's still looking unfair, etc.
Well, you've got to keep. The season's finished now, so let's go and continue to play.
You really? You think?
Yeah.
You think
not?
Continue to use the rest of the season as a training exercise?
Yeah, why not? He's not played.
Not that we need points. We need to be as high on that table as possible. Playing it unfit players.
He should be fit by now, though. How unfit can you be? Do you know what I mean?
If you look at the pictures of him when he was at West Brom, he is not the same.
I mean, how many games has he started now? 4, 5, 6 maybe? He should be fit by now. I don't care how long you've not played for, he should be getting there now.
You'd hope.
So it's not like, to drop him now will just undo the purpose of playing in the first place. You might as well see it through.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm of a different opinion.
Do you get him dropped?
I'd get him dropped.
Who for?
Anyway, Crouch, Walters, put Dewfoot there again, Boney.
Thing is, but Bellahino is the future now. I just think we might as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. So what I was gutted about was I've been crying out for Crouch and Bellahino to start up front together.
Then it happened.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
I've got
to little man.
I still think it can. And it would have done if he'd scored on the headers, because it was a perfect combination. Crouch knocked it across, but I don't know. I wouldn't drop that formation immediately.
Stick with 4-4-2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would. The key thing that pushed a lot of fans over the edge during the game, including myself, was the substitutions or lack of. Hughes were losing. We were losing from the first half when they scored. Going into the second half, we missed the penalty.
Yeah.
Still no changes at this point. Did we miss the penalty in the first half?
Second half.
So yeah, second half we missed the penalty. They got the other end and score. And it took until the 75th, 76th minute for Hughes to make a change.
He's got a real habit of waiting, doesn't he?
I don't get when so many fans can see it's not working. I don't get why he's waiting. I don't understand what he's waiting for.
I don't know. It was certainly like 2-0 down. There's nothing to wait for. And specifically Sobey. I don't know why he's been dropped. That's a complete mystery. But he was.
There's some rumours that he's not a fan. Hughes.
Of Sobey? Why? How?
I think I saw it.
What are these
somewhere? But the OK clip what someone put onto Twitter, but something about that he only started in that spell that he did was because there was a lot of pressure from high up in the club, and you know it does show a bit now that he's been bombed straight back up.
I don't see why. I mean,
it's just a.
I'm not a football manager, Al, as you know.
Yeah, I do know that.
But from looking at Sobey's performances, I can't see any.
There's no logical reason.
No, there's no. His performances have been great. He was our best player for the best part of the month, comfortably. That performance against Borough at home, I think it's Borough at home. That was one of the best individual performances I've seen.
He did well at Man City.
He was phenomenal. He was great against Man City. I keep saying it. It's not like he's some gung-ho young winger that just marches down the wing and loses the ball. He's really clever with it. Simple passes when needed. He tracks back better than Arnie and Shaq. 100%. You think he was a mature footballer,
but I'm getting deja vu because this happened when he had an absolute blinder against Hull. He was gone again.
Then deja vu further is similar to some of the other players that Bojan, when he had a decent spell, he got bombed, didn't he? And this happens in Butland. It's just inconsistency. I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is. It's like Hughes has got something against his own signings. and when they aren't working, it goes for the tried and tested old guard.
I don't know. I've thought about it all this season. I don't understand this chopping and changing of formations. I don't understand the dropping of seemingly good form players. I don't know. I'm baffled.
It's mental how you drop your players that are playing well and you don't do well.
I know.
Strange, isn't it? That
It's very strange. It's very strange. It doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
So I turned over the weekend.
You turned to the
Dark side.
That being Hughes out.
Who's out? I turned.
You were close anyway.
I was close anyway.
The podcast last week had detected your annoyance coming through.
And there is some annoyance.
I'm still not there,
You're still
but I've crept a bit more. If people are watching this on YouTube, if this is Hughes,
visual
this is official site. If this is Hughes out, you've just crept over. I'm wandering towards the centre point now, but I'm still not there.
For those of you listening, Craig's hands
I'm just
he's midway to being out.
It's not worth watching. If you're thinking I need to watch that,
don't get leadership just for that. It wasn't.
But I am creeping toward. Purely in the sense that, you know, the old saying that when the manager loses the player's confidence, there's no getting it back, and you just seem to see that all over the pitch without completely revamping the whole team and bringing in new players. I don't know how Hughes is going to reclaim some of the trust of some of these players. Yeah. And for that reason alone, you do think, well, what's the point in going again? I'm still Hughesing just, by the way. Just. I think he's probably got enough players on his side still. Mainly the old guard. I'll say that Walters wants out, there's a rumour.
Well, yeah, it came out last night.
He wants more game time, so maybe that's not the case either.
But when doesn't John Walters want out? He does this every transfer window.
Yeah, no, doesn't he? So why are you out?
Why am I out?
Yeah.
Many reasons. Shipping off the best players on loan. I'm worried about giving him money to spend in the summer to rebuild a squad that he made.
Okay.
He's shipping off Mbula, who's paid 18 million for.
Yeah. That's
going to be an admitted failure.
Yeah.
Tactics.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what his best side is. It's 4 years in. 4 years in, still no concrete philosophy, ideology there. We don't know what formation we're going to play. We don't know who's going to play week to week.
Yeah.
So a number of things, tactics, the substitutions. I see them like we're screaming out the same things every weekend. It's becoming like Groundhog Day,
and there seems like a real lack of, I don't know, drive and motivation in the players.
Yeah.
When we lose, it's not like we battle. It's when was the last time we lost? And it was a battling loss. And you thought, well, we tried
like a fight.
Yeah. I could argue Chelsea at home this year. We did dig our heels in. We did. Well. But other than that,
stupid look a bit away.
When we lose, we generally got battered this season, haven't we? Certainly against the top teams.
Yeah.
But Swansea, we just died.
There's also the
4-0.
Some of the things that stick around the Mark Hughes are the admittance of failures and also his own failing at his own targets. He's already admitted that he shouldn't send Bojan out on loan. That's a big admission, especially when you've gone and done it.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans are against that decision. The admittance of your record signing is just you've got no desire to play him at all. Just bring him on when games are crying out for him. That's literally saying, right, I am not playing this guy.
It's pointless
after you've paid 18 million for him. We've been lucky to. I've seen rumours now of him going out on loan in the summer. What does that? If he's wanting to get rid, you sell. But what fee are you going to recoup? You're not getting close to 18 million.
I think we'll do well to get 10 to 12 maybe.
You'd be lucky at that.
Just not enough 12, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Realistically, it's going to be 10ish, I think.
Well, I wouldn't even want to get rid of the guy, if I'm being completely honest.
Kind of.
Do you know what's funny? The Stoke City Twitter account keep putting out, like every week they'll put out, here's what happened last time, like, you know, when we played the club on the weekend.
Yeah.
So that this week,
it was West Ham
in Butland, driving through midfield, 1-2, smashes it bottom corner across the floor, brilliant goal. I was looking at that thinking, where the fuck's that guy? Thing is, he's nowhere near the squad, and then he pops up for the second. Managerial.
How bad has Mbula played this year? Because I forget now. We've seen that little of him. I'm struggling to remember.
He had 45 minutes in a game where the whole fucking team played poorly against Wolves. Bojan got shipped off the back of that, and Mbula got exiled. That was the last time I can remember him featuring.
I'm so disappointed with Mbula. I'm so disappointed. I think that the Mbula we saw last season looked phenomenal.
There's that phenomenal players in there.
Yeah,
he's being mismanaged.
This happened at Porto though, as well.
It did, but that was a completely different situation.
What happened there?
That was to do with owners and not settling. Manager just came out publicly and accused him of a couple of things.
What sort of thing? Him not settling?
Yeah.
Is that happened again now? Because you've heard rumours that he's not attempted to learn the language, he's not integrated with the team.
Again, I think that some are right, some are wrong. I think he has tried to learn the language. You can see that from Twitter, because he gets involved in some conversations now and then with the lot on Twitter in the DMs.
I just think I don't know. I think it's 6 of 1. I think that he's probably quite quiet. How old is he? 23. He's quite quiet. He's on the young, new culture, new country.
But it speaks out so much for when you've got, like when I did that interview with Berrettino and you're asking him who's impressed you most in training. It's a Gianelli, but
he was class. He was, honestly, I was convinced he would go to a top 10 team in Europe. Like at points last season, I thought he looks absolutely phenomenal. He was skipping past the Chelsea midfield. I know they weren't that great last year, but I remember the goal he scored against Bournemouth away as well. That was an amazing goal. Very difficult shot to control. I'm absolutely gutted about the Mbula thing, and as long as Hughes stays at the club, we won't see him again properly in a Stoke shirt, bar injuries or desperation, which is a massive shame. But then you never know the reality of the situation. It's easy to say he should be played, he should be played. He could have been an absolute dick for all we know. He could be causing unrest. He could have tried to hit Hughes for all we know. Do you know what I mean? We don't know what's going on in the background, and if he's been disruptive, you can understand why Hughes wouldn't play him. For those that manage people at work, if you've got someone in your team that's a bit of a dickhead and causing trouble, you're not going to stick in the front line, are you? We just don't know. I mean, that might not be the reality. It might be that Hughes is mismanaging him, which is another thing altogether. But it's a shame. The bottom line is, what a shame. We had what seemed like an absolute world in our hands here, and it's just slipped away from us. Hey, same with Bojan. See Bojan.
Hey, there's still some chance, Craig. Mark Hughes could be gone.
Well, yeah, that's the only hope for Mbula for me.
Yeah, it is. That's the only way he'll stay at the club. So, speaking about Mark Hughes' feelings of his own objectives, another one was after we went out at the FA Cup. He said we'd finish 8th.
Did he say 7?
Was it 7?
I thought he said 7. He said that's the target anyway.
What, 7? Sorry, yeah, I think it was. Well, either way, we're not finishing any other spots.
No. But yeah, I don't know. Nowhere near it not happened at all. It's not. It looks daft in hindsight, doesn't it?
Does. I think he was just trying to please us all for going out of the cup.
It's interesting. I mean, I was saying at the start of the podcast that I continue to play Berrettino because this season's done now, but never has. You've got 4 games left now. For a manager's sake, never has 4 games in a seemingly meaningless end of the season meant so much because I literally think if Hughes finishes 11th, 12th above, he'll stay. I think 13th and below, he might go. I mean, it shouldn't make a difference. That might be the sake of 1 point might separate you 2, 3, 4 places, and it shouldn't really make all the difference. But I honestly think it might boil down to that.
Well, at the end of the day, every place is almost 2 to 3 million pounds.
Something like that.
So it will mean a lot. It might not mean a lot to most people, but
to Hughes, I think Hughes
will mean a lot to Peter Coates.
Yeah. And to Hughes, his position, I think he must appreciate and know that if I can get, we could easily sneak top half still, easily. Couldn't we? Really, it's not like that. I mean, what happens if we finish 10th this season? Then what do we do? Do we moan? Do we accept it?
Well, it depends on the football and the direction that he goes with it. Because for me, that is the worst thing at the minute. The football's awful. It's lacklustre, if nothing else. There's just nothing to it.
Because I always defended Pulis when people slagged off the football because there was passion there. I didn't care so much about the style to a point, as long as there's passion and drive, and that's what's missing from Hughes teams at the moment. It's just lacklustre. It's lazy, it's slow.
There was in the article last night about John Walters leaving, there was a section that quite interested me, and it makes me think that Hughes is staying. It makes me think that Hughes will be an next summer, because John Percy is pretty much the oracle on Stokes.
He knows his stuff, doesn't he? It's confirmation from him, and then he's done mustard.
Yeah, so there was this section in the article which says Hughes has been coming under scrutiny from some supporters, but it is understood his position is safe, with the Stoke board determined to back him in the summer transfer window. The Welshman will target a centre-half, a left-back, an essential midfielder as he looks to revamp his squad.
I assume one of them centre-backs is Indy.
Yeah.
Unless Ryan's going. Then there might be another.
John Terry.
John Terry, yeah, and his mum.
And his mum. God, less said about that, the better, Craig.
Yeah. I think Hughes will, regardless of what you think or I think, I do think he'll stay.
I think the only way he goes if they are some horrific defeats. The rest of this, let's say West Ham.
We get an absolute spanking.
West Ham beat us 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Bournemouth beat us a couple. Arsenal beat us a couple. And Southampton beat us a couple. Which isn't.
The thing is, that isn't. We could have impossible. I mean, our record against teams at the top half the table are rubbish this year. But I think so. The 3 positions outlined: left back, centre back, centre mid. I just get the impression it's going to need a lot more than that to really revamp this team and give it a bit of motivation.
Well, it's not 3 signings won't do it.
How many midfielders we got? Centre midfielders.
Plenty.
Glenn Whelan, Charlie Adam, Cameron, Joe Allen, Ibula's 5.
Stephen Ireland, if he's alive.
The way he is. I mean, that's 6. I don't really include Ireland in that, but that means at least 2 of these. Athline, 7. At least 2 of them need to go. At least 2 of them.
Yeah. So that revamp doesn't look like much of a revamp.
Not really.
This is the thing. This is the thing that I've got at the minute, and it's happening at. I heard a great example the other day, and I can't think of where it is. If you plod along with Hughes and you get some signings in, and there's no real change there. So like that, say that happens 3 signings or so, you're not really reinvigorating the squad in any way, shape or form. The same things will happen, the same things will continue. If we get into this space next season and we get to that start of the season again and we lose or we don't win for the first 6 or 7 games again, the fans will go fucking mad.
Yeah.
It'll go absolutely crazy and everyone will be sat there just going, well, we haven't really changed anything. We've got Mark Hughes here still. He's made a couple of signings as he does every year. There's been no real revamp. A revamp of the squad, coach is going to have to put a lot of money in. I don't think he'll do that.
No.
I don't think he'll put a lot.
He's given a lot already. I just think that, the start of next season is so imperative for Hughes. If we start next season how we did this season, he'll be gone come October, late September, I think. He's on a thin line at the moment. There's not much of a comfort blanket, a safety blanket left for Hughes to fall into.
As you may have noticed, those of you watching on YouTube with a keen eye, those of you listening, you've got no idea what I'm wearing. I'm about to go football in a bit and I've got my Stoke top on. You may notice the macron badges have gone off the fucking arms.
Walkabout,
Thought we got rid of New Balance for this.
You're raging, aren't you?
Right, I'm pissed off. Because the other reason I'm pissed off is because I think the kits are shit this year.
I'm not that impressed with the kits.
Sky Blue
doesn't work for me.
It looks like Man City. It's commemorating the season when we did terribly, if I remember rightly.
What season?
Apparently it's from like it's the 60s or 70s, in the season where we didn't do that great. It's not like commemorating when we won the League Cup.
Well, if it is commemorating anything, it's the first time that we did a bad job of publicising that.
Yeah.
Commemoration.
And New Balance have gone on leaps and bounds in my eyes.
I thought New Balance kit, man.
I thought the kits were great.
The year before last, was it? No, it was last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That kit was brilliant.
The black and green away.
That was nice. And then the home kit was just perfect. It was quite simple.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Great fit, little V on the collar.
And more importantly, the little logos and badges and sponsors don't peel off.
Yeah.
As demonstrated on your macron bits. Because I've got exactly the same training top as that. It's starting to peel on mine as well. Raging.
And the thing that pisses me off is that Liverpool got New Balance and their stuff this year is walking sublime. They've got like proper waterproofs that are smart, they've got like jackets, jumpers. Ours is shite.
Well, we've got these guys for how long?
4 more years.
4 more years of macron.
But it does happen quite often in the football world. Kit deals get brought out and you can easily replace them, yeah.
Okay.
It happens quite often. Something that surprised me the other day is one team in the league with Nike, only one.
Who's that?
Man City.
One team?
One team.
That is odd.
Nike, if you're listening, fucking sign us up.
The thing is, I don't like going with Nike right now because we always get the identity kit things, don't we? So everyone cast like with them.
Yeah.
But the top teams get their own little.
No. Everyone gets the same.
Well, it's crap then, isn't it?
Everyone-
At least with
everyone's
Macron,
got
it's on
their
yours
templates.
because no one else wants them.
No one
At
wants.
least it's unique to us in that sense.
Villa have them.
In the Premiership.
Everyone who had Macron went down.
Did they?
Yeah, there's a fair few examples. Palace
Macron does scream out League One, lower Championship. a bit,
screams
doesn't
out Sunday League.
it? Yeah.
But these little men that they put on the shoulders have gone. The bet six. Oh, best not mention it.
The sponsors.
The sponsors are coming on.
Yeah.
I'm joking. And then the other one's gone.
Thing is, I always make a habit of buying the training tops.
I always buy the training kit.
And I'm going to buy it next year as well.
Do you-
Even now, it could be rubbish, but I'll buy it.
Best recent training kit was
What?
the Adidas fluoro green. What? It's like fluorescent.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you mean.
I had both the blue and the fluoro green
Did you?
with the shorts.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. This is a good little chat, innit? Kit talk.
Yeah.
Replica kit talk.
Yeah.
Training tops.
So anyway, those of you listening, do let us know for next week. If someone could buy us out, what do you want to see? Or if we're sticking with Macron, what do you want to see him do next season?
Yeah.
Another interesting point is they have this badge on the arm. For the next season in the Premier League is the first time you can have sponsors on the arms.
Yeah, Stoke got anything. Do you know?
Not yet.
They're bound to, aren't they?
It'd be daft not to.
Yeah.
If they haven't, then you look at the marketing department and go, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
It's about, you just missed £100 there or whatever.
Yeah.
Man City have already announced theirs. They were the first club to do so.
What have we got?
I think tyres or a game
Tyres.
or a gaming thing. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%.
We should have sponsors on our
We should have something. No Bet365. It'll probably be Bet365 on the arm.
Yeah, we'll just be Bet365
Just
actually.
yeah. It'd be Ray Winston's head. Another interesting talking point that I wanted to bring up, and I said I wasn't going to show you this, but I think we've probably seen it upside down on the iPad, is a training grounds article that I read earlier this week.
This is the Sunderland one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who may not have read the article, northern teams seem to be sort of dying out. Not dying out, but
Struggling.
less popular, harder and harder to attract players. I don't think we have it so bad because we're close to Manchester. A lot of players live in Cheshire, very close to Manchester. Sobby said in a recent interview on Egyptian TV this week that he lives basically in Manchester, next to quite a good Lebanese restaurant.
Check that out.
I have to check it out. But Sunderland were used as the example in this article that they might set up a training ground in London. So players can live in London, which is always popular, train in London and literally just fly out or come up for match days.
I think if that happens, football's dead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously they're not integrated with the city.
It's just,
sort of
I mean, they
fans.
barely are now. I don't hold the illusion, Sobeys down Hanley every Friday.
Everyone,
Around
that's the
Do you know what I
usual
mean?
thing what people have kept in their head, like when a player moves to Stoke, they pitch a tent up in Hanley Street.
I doubt any Stoke current squad player has even been to Hanley, but it's just a little bit more. I mean, Clayton is still in the city of Stoke. They still have to come to Stoke, and there's the community aspect of.
It's right next
I
to
mean,
it,
let's
so-
face it. Think of all the kind of the local people from Stoke that are employed at Clayton Woods. Who's going to get that job then? A Cockney instead.
If, say we were to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be, wouldn't it? It'd be someone in London that would get that job and represent our club. And you'd like to give a bit back to the community. And other little things as well. Doing the little community projects where you go to a local school. The players aren't going to get a bloody train up to do that, are they, from London?
They might have to contract it too.
But do you know what I mean? It breaks that link down.
The example in the article was Anzi when in the Russian league when they were taking Anzi was an absolute shit.
Was Eto there?
Yeah,
He was.
Sammy Eto, but he lived in Moscow.
And he
Trained
flew
in
across.
Moscow, flew for games.
It's ridiculous. If that happens in English football, it's another step to it down.
There's rumours.
I will be absolutely heartbroken if Stoke going to do that. Heartbroken.
But
we've got a sensible chairman, I'll never have.
for me to play devil's advocate, what if that does allow you to bring in better players?
I don't care, honestly.
You don't?
Honestly, it sounds a bit over the top and dramatic, but I'd rather just get relegated and keep the soul in the club
Yeah?
than do that, yeah.
Interesting.
I might have been a bit dramatic there, do you think? But
No, I'm sure many people will share.
Football is about the local thing. It's about going with your family that live around there and all this sort of stuff. And giving back to the community in that sense of pride of your team in your city training and playing there. The second we start training in bloody London, football is dead. It's crap. That best never happened to Stoke. I mean, utterly ashamed if it ever did.
Okay.
A bit emotional then, didn't that?
You did. I personally, I wouldn't like it either. It would take a lot away from integrating players into the heart and soul of the club. Before we did do the pod, we asked for some people's questions. I also said if you haven't got a question, just tell me what you're having for tea. Some people did. Jeff P. Banks on Twitter said, pizzas made from tortilla wraps, I think, blending Italian ideas with Spanish flair. We could do with some of that in our game.
Ask him to send a picture now, I guess I'm intrigued to see.
Part-time Bob Ferris, or at the Big Nath, says, how can Mark Hughes revamp the squad? Does he bring in youth? Does he get rid of players he doesn't want? Does he get value from that? Does he get value for money? Or how does he do it without a mass turnaround?
That's a big question, isn't it?
Yes. I think a blend of youth. And all of the above. Get rid of the players you don't want. Revamp the squad a bit. Bring in 4 or 5 signings. Embed a bit of youth.
Yeah, I suppose you've answered that perfectly. I mean, it's a massive question. Part of me thinks I don't know if Hughes can even do that, because I don't know if he's going to have enough time to bring in. You know, the pressure where if your job's at stake, you don't risk youth sometimes, do they? Managers, they can't do it. We've not done it this season. We've got the old guard in. So I can't see Hughes blending too much youth in the immediate future, really.
These 2 questions have sort of been answered from David and Michael. David said, do you think there's any chance that Bill will stay? I think we'd love to regret if he doesn't. Not if Mark Hughes is.
No, I'd love him to work, but no chance.
Michael says, can you guys give your general opinions on Berahino and how much longer we should give him before deciding to try other options? Yours is keep him
going. I'm literally not going to get drawn into any negatives about Berahino until next season, if at all. I'm not going to judge this season. You just can't do it. It's pointless.
Cancer Beta FCs. That's a name.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. How much do you think we miss Bojan? Feel we lack creativity in the middle, forcing us to the wings and half our teams can't cross?
Bojan is absolutely peak. We miss it massively, but I don't know why that peak is. I don't know if that exists.
Berahino is at the minute on the end of those crosses, doing headers that he can't do that great, either missing or at the keeper. He needs a number 10 there to slot some balls in, and some. You know how Bojan can slot a ball. We've seen it before. Pick out a pass in the hole. That's what Berahino wants to be on the end on. I can't think. I think I can probably think of one against Man City, but he was quite wide. I can't think of one time he's run onto a ball, slotted through from central.
And I know the Man City one you're thinking about, and that was wide.
Yeah, it was very tight angle. But I can't think of a time he's had a chance one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah,
after being slotted through.
He's not.
I don't think he has.
He's not. I mean, I'd love to. Obviously, we'd love Bojan to come back and be his best, but I don't know what his best is anymore.
Number 10.
I don't mean his position, but I don't know if he can do that. Has he done that? What have we really seen him in this season? It's such a difficult question to ask. I'd love to see. Bojan needs another go. He needs another go to just come back into the squad, because I don't think he will do with the Hughes, but he needs another crack at it.
Hatim Sad, who I'm guessing is Egyptian, especially following what his question is, why do you think Sobia's dropped to the bench again?
Don't have a clue. Al hinted at the fact that he's fallen out with Hughes. Maybe Hughes doesn't rate him, but I do not have a clue.
I don't know why.
But he shouldn't play. He should play. He went for a spell of being our best player for a month and a half.
John Ezra wonders about Hughes' ability to motivate the squad. Do you see the lack of scoring as a failure on his part to inspire?
That's been muted quite a lot, hasn't it? But he stands at arms folded. He takes a seat in the dugout occasionally. His interviews are never that inspired, are they?
No.
Really. But again, I don't automatically match a media persona with the persona of a manager in the dressing room, but I do understand some of the kind of thought process that he's a little bit lacklustre from the side, because he's just not reanimated, is he? Really. But it's not all about that.
John Ezra also told us what he's having for his tea.
Go on.
He said, I had tea today with something we call an English muffin in America, although I know it has zero to do with England. I'm very Brit today.
An English muffin? I thought a muffin's English? I thought it was a generic baked good. But I thought it was
cake?
What's he now? I want a bit more detail. I don't know what he means
I've
by
got
that.
no more detail for you.
Yeah.
Robert Kenneth Jones, realistic transfer targets for the summer.
Is Gibson Borough realistic?
If they go down, yeah, that's a possibility. If he's after a centre back still.
Sigurdsson from Swansea, but I think he'll probably go to some of the top 6.
Yeah. Well, we said these last week.
I tell you, I'd love to get him.
Yeah.
And I've got a good mate of mine's a Brentford fan, Hotter from Brentford. He's absolutely tearing it up in the Championship. Yeah. He's a great player.
If we could get a loan signing, I'd like us, and if we say John left, Tammy Abraham.
John left, right? John left.
Yeah, Walters.
John Walters. I thought you. Okay.
Tammy Abraham.
Right.
Smash it up in the Championship on loan from Chelsea.
Oh yeah. He could be another one on Chelsea.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite make it players,
but he looks special. Even some of it, he scored a goal last weekend where it went over the top, and instead of just volleying it, he waited for the keeper to come out and sort of hit it. Just with the final time he covered the side of his foot past the keeper, it was a disgusting finish. And when you see a finish like that, you think he's got something. That lad, he's got some talent. So he'll go back on loan to Chelsea. Chelsea do the same thing they do every year, loan out to about 50 people.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind him as backup.
I think we'll give him a chance. It's a good chance.
If they'd let
I do
us.
think we need a real creative midfielder because I think Bojan's going to come back. So it's a good option for me.
Yeah, that takes good.
We won't get him, will we?
Goal scoring midfielder.
We won't get him in a million years.
Probably not. Probably cost too much for us. What other questions have we got? Ryan Down says he believes that Hughes can turn it around. He says, I think there's a bitter taste with the record signings not performing. Big mistake would be to lose Super John or Crouch in the summer. Rightly or wrongly, we need to keep them as our saving grace when performers aren't performing. Confident that Berahino will come good. Some serious strengthening needed at the back of midfield. Big summer for us Stokies.
I like the positivity in that.
But there's a lot of
That's nice. That's the most positive thing that's been mentioned in this podcast. That's nice.
Ashley Flint says, is Hughes actually the problem, or is it the fact we don't take our chances? Personally, I think it's us not taking our chances. We create more than enough. I think everyone just knows we need some investment in the summer.
I do think, yeah, you could argue that. I mean, as bad as we did play in Swansea, look at the highlights and we included the penalty, missed 3 sitters. Really? I mean, another day, the 2 Berahino chances and the only penalty, 1's going to go in. We shouldn't be missing all 3 of them. Then India had a good chance in the last minute. Maybe, we do miss a lot of chances.
What?
We do miss a lot of chances, but it surely runs deeper than that.
Some finishing training. What we need. And Jack Vernon told us he was having chicken dinner.
What's that mean? Is that veg on the rest of it?
It's like chicken, taters, gravy, veg.
Yeah, roast dinner.
Proper.
Roast dinner on a Wednesday. A bold move, that is.
It is.
Yeah.
Not called a Sunday dinner for nothing.
Nah.
Last off, we'll finish off with the game coming up this weekend, which is West Ham.
I'll do a prediction.
Don't do predictions. Worryingly, they've got Andy Carroll back for this, and he always scores against us. It seems, whether it's from Newcastle.
He's got a great header years ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I'm worried about this one again. Well, who isn't?
West Ham
struggled to find someone positive, I think.
West Ham, I think, have had a very, very similar season to us, haven't they?
Yeah.
Very
A
similar.
lot was expected.
Yeah, they just flopped.
But
it's got draw it all
Slaven
over.
Bilic seems to be getting, like, for how much they're underperforming, I haven't seen a lot of flack.
He got some at the start of the season, then they briefly, similar to Hughes, escaped that relegation battle, and then they kind of dipped the toes
Just
back in a little bit, meandered, yeah, like Stoke. Yeah, I feel like the way he performed last season helped, and I think the fact the board have taken into account the change into the new ground, and it's a difficult time for the club in that sense. So I think they're giving him a bit of a pass this season. They'll be judging next year properly. This got drawing all over it. Yeah, it's going to be
doing a prediction.
I can't help it. Prediction in it. I just think it's going to be 2 teams that are having very poor to average seasons, not really wanting to compound the negativities of their season anymore, and it'll result in a dull draw. I can't wait for it now.
Oh God,
That'll be fun, wouldn't it?
Oh God, crazy. I'd be happy with a draw.
I'd just to get the 40 points. Not that we're going to go down, but I think psychologically just get that 40 points would be nice.
Well, hopefully we win. We need to see a vast improvement on last week though, to do that.
But who knows, a winning week could be top half again. Then you look at the league and it's all rosy briefly.
Will that just paper over?
Yeah, and it did last year, didn't it, really? We somehow snuck into 9th last year when, in reality, I think we were a bottom 10 team last year, but we just seemed to sneak over that top half line last year with that undeserved win against West Ham. The last game of the season, we were very lucky.
Yeah.
That game, but
yeah,
drawn all over it for me.
And we were singing to you were not going on European tour.
Yeah, they did.
And then they did. They did anyway.
But they messed it up anyway.
And then they fucked it up themselves. So that has been the Bear Pit Pod.
Enjoyed that one. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
Got into the nitty gritty bits.
Yeah.
If you are watching on YouTube, do leave a like, leave us a comment. If you are listening, go and leave us a review. Share this wherever you're listening to it. It's on SoundCloud, Acast, iTunes, YouTube, and we will see you next week. What did you do for me?